What's up guys, it's Brent with Canis Behavior and Training, and in this video, we're gonna be going over one of the most confusing concepts in dog training, which is crate training or den training. In this video, we're gonna go over what a lot of people do wrong, how to do them a lot better, and most importantly, how to troubleshoot some of the issues that your dogs might be dealing with, like barking, whining, crying, so that way we can then introduce the crate or the den area to be a positive space so that the dog can come to learn to love and enjoy a lot of time in there. Now, if you guys are really excited for this, stick around, because here we go. All right, guys, let's go ahead and go over the top 4 things that most dog owners do wrong when introducing the crate or the den. Number 1, they tend to only put their dogs in the crate when they're leaving the house. Now, this is one of the easiest ways to associate frustration and potentially feeling abandoned in the crate. Number 2, they only put the dog in the crate when they're quote unquote being bad. Now, we define bad as being annoying, aggressive, or destructive. And so if you take a dog who's being annoying, aggressive, or destructive, this usually means you're taking a dog who actually needs activity and something to focus on, and you're shoving them in the crate, which eventually can create some frustration and some anxious feelings around the crate. Number 3, a lot of people have a tendency of caving when they see their dogs barking, whining, crying, trying to escape from the crate. So that's a very common feeling a lot of puppies feel initially, but in this video, we're gonna go over how to deal with your dog's FOMO, fear of missing out, so that eventually your dog can learn to relax in the crate, be calm in the crate, and most importantly, enjoy their crate. And number 4, all of those first 3 can actually be avoided if we just put our dogs in the crate more frequently throughout the day, so we can develop a positive habit of being put away and learning to rest as a skill. All right, super excited to share this with you guys. So let's go ahead and move on to the other sections. Let's go. Alrighty guys, this is Leia. She is a 4, almost 5-month-old golden retriever. She's gonna go ahead and be our demonstration dog. Now, here we go.
Hold up.
All right, guys, now before we move on to some of this crate training work, we want to do a little bit of prep work before we put the dog inside the crate to relax. Number 1, make sure that your dog is fully exercised, minimum 30 to 40 minutes on the average dog. If you have a working dog, make sure you're doing some obedience or some fetch or some tug, something a little bit more cardiovascular, so that way your dog can get out some of that pent-up energy. Let's also make sure that our dogs have pooped and peed recently before we put them into the crate. And number 3, let's go ahead and make sure that we have something tasty and delicious that our dogs can put their minds on when they're put into the crate. Ideally, this could be a bone, maybe pop a hot dog inside a hollowed out beef bone, maybe go ahead and get a Kong and stuck some of his favorite kibble, mix it with some peanut butter. Be creative, guys. It's completely up to you how you want your dogs what you want your dogs to eat. So those are our 3 basic steps before we move on to the crates. So let's go ahead and move on to the rest of this. These 3 steps will make your job a lot easier in crate training. So let's check it out. When we first set things up in the crate, we're actually gonna have a leash on the dog. Right now she has a slip lead, but if you guys wanna have a clip lead onto their flat collar, that's totally okay as well. If your dog is a little bit more resilient and you guys are using some training collars, that would also come in handy as well. So let me go ahead and just demonstrate how we go ahead and put the dog in the crate and actually thread this leash through the crate. So come here, baby. Okay, come here, go inside. Good. Now she already, go inside. So she already has a bone in this crate for her. And what we can do is we're just gonna go ahead and thread this through the crate door itself, okay? Now the reason we need this crate door, or we need this leash coming through the crate, is so that way we can grab the dog's attention if for any reason we need to grab the dog's attention, okay? So this is gonna be our basic setup, and we're gonna go ahead and allow her to be in there. All right, now stage number 1. We're gonna go ahead and start right here in front of the dog, okay? My dog will be in the crate and I will be sitting here on the couch watching a movie. Now, let's talk about a couple things what we might have to do if our dogs start barking, whining, or crying, okay? Now, as long as our dogs have pooped and peed, and as long as our dogs have exercised, and as long as our dogs have distractions in there, like a bone or a chew toy that they really, really like, the only reason our dog would be whining, barking, or crying is demanding for attention. It can't be separation anxiety if I'm literally right next to the dog, okay? So, a couple things that we have to do. If our dogs are throwing a tantrum, meaning that they are whining, then whining louder, then barking louder, that means that their stress levels are actually getting higher and higher and higher. And so even though we need to teach our dogs to process their feelings, we can help them out by teaching them not to escalate too high. So a couple ways that we can snap our dogs out of it, for example. If our dogs start barking, we can very abruptly clap our hands. Nope! One example. We can go to the side of the crate and go, nope! Or the very, very last version, you can come straight to the leash that we've already pre-threaded through the crate, and we can do a very quick little nope, and just give a little tap on the leash, okay? Now the purpose of that is just to snap the dog out of the escalation of the tantrum. It's not to be mean to them, it's not to hurt them, it's just to snap them out of the feeling that they're feeling. This is something that's known as sensory grounding, okay? As the dog is getting more and more frustrated, they actually become overwhelmed by their feelings. And so one thing that we can do to help them is we don't necessarily have to control them or tell them to stop every noise that they make, but we can at least help them by teaching them a limit of how loud they can be or how aggressive they can be in the crate. Sometimes dogs might paw at the crate or push the crate door or try and escape or do all of those things. And what we can do as their dog owners is to teach them what we don't want them to do. Now this is most easily done when we're in close quarters like this, okay? So stage number one, get your dog to relax in this crate while you're next to them, giving them some guidance and helping them manage their stress. Now, if my dog can relax and chill at this close quarters, level 2 means I can actually go across the room and be a little bit further away from the dog. Okay, so stage number 2 is do the exact same thing. I can still see the puppy. She can still see me. But what I'm gonna do is just make sure that she's not escalating out of control. And now in stage 2, I'm just doing it at a further distance. So I'm here on the couch watching TV and the puppy is still in her crate relaxing, okay? Again, this is my job as the dog's owner, parent, trainer, whatever it might be, to teach them to calm themselves in the crate versus bark, whine, cry, throw a tantrum, try to escape, etc. So this is why it's so important for us as dog trainers and dog owners to make sure that we are present when crate training, not leaving the house. Our baby Leia, she can't see us anymore, but I'm still holding her accountable for not escalating in the tantrum. Okay, so I still have the leash on her. She is still in the crate, but now I'm just slightly out of sight. But if you guys notice, I kept the door open. And the reason I kept the door open is because during crate conditioning, I have to almost anticipate that I'm going to need to be there to guide the dog to calm down or to address any tantrums that might be there. And it's only this being present that allows us to be successful in counter conditioning the tantrums and counter conditioning the anxiety that could be associated with the crate, okay? Now it's once the dog calms down and actually decompresses, now the dog's actually gonna be able to chew on the bone or fall asleep and stop whining. All right, guys, so I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. Those of you suffering with dogs who are barking, whining, and crying, I hope that this approach and this technique will be helpful for you guys to find success. But just remember, make sure that you guys are exercising your dogs and pottying them before they go in the crate. Number 2, make sure you guys are putting your dogs in the crate frequently throughout the day so that it becomes normalized. Number 3, also make sure that you're setting limits and boundaries to how high a dog's tantrum or emotional state can escalate. All right, and number 4, make sure that you guys are giving the dog something delicious to chew on or associate the crate with. For example, meals and chew toys. All right, I really hope that this video was helpful for you guys. If you guys have any questions, make sure you guys leave them in the comments below, and make sure you guys follow our company at Canis Behavior on Instagram and Facebook. And we can't wait to serve you guys more in the future. Again, my name is Brent Labrada, and I'll see you guys next time.